Relax there, Realm Chat. Holy smokes. Tech difficulties. We are here. It's the Rexer Show. Topics tonight. Comments. Let's open up with a comment. I think the Rexer Show is the only show you get the truth. With everyone else, it feels like they're trying to sell me something I really don't need. Woo! He is right. Thank you, MW73U. Okay. He's right. I gotta say, he's right. He is correct. He is correct. What is up, everyone? Hobby Hams, Realm Chat, Razorburn. Oh, Paul, nice to see you guys. Yes, we are going to be talking about the influencers. Well, first we got some comments. We got Frank and Sons. I'll explain that in a second. And 8 reasons interests have changed. Interests have changed, everyone. I didn't know, but after 30 years, 40 years, our interests have changed. What's up, Show Me Retro? After 30 years, guys, it's all changed, and we're going to be talking about this crazy stream right here. A lot of you have seen it. A lot of you haven't. It really doesn't matter. I wouldn't worry about it because nobody really watched it through the length. I heard it was so awful and boring that people just turned it off and nothing was said. But what you do have to know, is this comment. This comment right here. Good to see the crew. And now this is Sean talking about this stream. This is Sean talking about this stream where they're trying to say interests have changed. No, I know, Don. Neither do I. That's why nobody. Here, let me tell you a story. Everybody who watched this. Here, let me go back. Everybody who I talked to, I said, "Did any of you guys watch this? Did any of you guys see it?" They all were like, "It was so boring and so bad," and they said absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They said for over 2 hours straight, and people were like, "I had to turn it off." That's how bad it was. So. Anyway, Stringer Films, we got championship game. Yeah, but it's Big Ten, man. It's Iowa versus Michigan. You know how boring that is? But thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I still think Georgia should be in the top 4, but that's a story for another show. Yeah, this was an insane group of guys. We'll talk about that, but let's get back to the comment that kind of this comment it made this stream kind of possible, to be honest with you. It made this stream kind of possible. Good to see the crew that called these exact products the cat's ass from 2020-21. And sorry, Sean, you're wrong. They've called them the cat's ass since 2018, okay? So it's been 5 years, okay? And go out to buy day one has all pivoted. This is the biggest example of the tail wagging the dog, okay? The tail wagging, these same YouTubers, Mike be included, are all going to tell you the community is moving in another direction when it's fact, it's them that are. Just look at all the content, blah, blah. This guy couldn't be more right besides the 2020. They were shilling this stuff from the beginning. Now, listen, guys, what is the point of this? Because these guys are trying to tell you that their interest has changed, but it has nothing to do with their interest changing. Nothing, okay? Nothing to do with that, and all to do with other people's interests are changing. And they are changing their interests because they think other people's interests are changing. And the reasons they give for why their interests are changing are total crap, okay? Total lies and crap. And we'll get into that because we're going to see a couple comment, by Mike B and how his interests are changing. Oh, God. Yeah, his interests are changing. How about...
Obviously, I'm transitioning my content.
Yeah, obviously you are because you know what's going on with 1UP. All right, Stringer Films again, thank you. These games determine SEC status in college football playoffs. Yeah, they do. They do. But Michigan's going to win, and it's going to be Michigan, Bama, Washington, and Florida State if they win. So, and Georgia gets screwed. But anyway, yeah. And they only we're going to talk a little bit about that when they get it for free. We're going to talk about the 8 reasons why they really did this stream, Brad. Why they really did this stream. Nothing to do with interest changing, all to do with other stuff. And the 8 reasons I'm going to show you as why. Okay. That's what we're going to show you. But while we're at it, let's look at let's look at the comment from Mike B, and we'll get into the topic. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you know, Akuma, that Frank's has been over there for 20 years. Best place to get plastic and cardboard crap. One Up will be sold. Well, hopefully it will be sold off by then. What is Mike transitioning his content into? Well,
obviously I'm transitioning my content.
He's transitioning it into stealing your content, Kerry Hardy. He now wants to talk about advertisements on these and steal your content. Then he steals Biggie D's content when he does a Arcade 1-Up Monday, Cyber Mondays. Oh, I can't make this stuff up. I need a high noon. I don't know how long this show is going to go, guys. We'll see. $10 from Paul. Thank you very much. I'm transitioning to things that don't bore the yeah, well, that's part of the problem, Paul, is that a lot of us and people that used to look up to these guys are just moving away because they're so tired of this one-up crap, right? And that's what's driving them for interest changing. Yeah, it's been 40 years. I'm still interested in arcades, but, we won't. Stringer with the $2 and be Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Bama. Ooh, I don't know. Florida State. I don't know if they're lose. That's the only other game of interest against Louisville, but I figured Florida State would take that down. Thank you, Stringer, and thank you, Paul. We had an arcade. I thought. Just hi, Rexer. Thank you, Arcade Talk and Star Wars Reviews. Check out his channel. Thank you for the $2. That's it. Hi to you guys. Can't get the show on if you guys keep writing me. Okay. Oh, you don't think Bama's getting in? Okay. Anyway, we could talk all day about that, Stringer. Let's look at that comment. Let's look at that comment by Mike B. So we get rid of Sean's comment, and here's Mike B's reply. I'm not sure if you missed the point of the discussion. Everybody missed the point of the discussion, first of all. Or you are blinded by the rhetoric from someone building his channel through hate. I wonder who that could be. I wonder who he's referring to. The hate. It's all about the hate. No one is backtracking on anything we said previously. It's easy to see that a large portion of the home art community has lost interest. Yes, they lost interest, so you lost interest now from these companies in 20. This is the part that I love. This is, I mean, you can't make up this stuff when somebody replies. Due to high prices, stale releases, re-releases, and more exciting new offerings from other companies. Thank you for your wait a second. High prices? Wait, have we not been saying this for 3-4 years now? And all of a sudden it's high prices now? Now it's high prices? Now it's stale re-releases, but the legacies and the deluxes and the XLs, and never was that a problem. Never was that. And that's a good point, Brad. Never was that a problem before. For 5 years, all of that was going on. High prices, blah, blah, blah. But today, out of all the days, now 5 years later, we realize that, oh my God, there are re-releases and stale. Why? Wait, you got Time Crisis, you asked for it. You got a driving game, you asked for it. That's all lies. You guys, 2 weeks ago, were saying how great they were and how awesome you're looking forward to the XLs and the deluxes. And now you say interests are changing and you're not interested in 1-Up? Thank you, Steps. I did get a new one. I did. There's something to say about, I won't pay the $200 as you saw in my thing, but, anyway, And now they say, oh, what was the other one? New and exciting products. There's always been new and exciting products. Now you guys want to do DIYs, and some of you talking about, oh my God, when you want to do new, we're buying real cabs and larger cabs and all this stuff. You fakes, you phonies, you liars. We're going to get into the 8 reasons why you guys did that stream and what you're trying to do. But after all the shilling of, XLs are great. And I'll be the first to tell you guys, okay? You want to talk about Arcade 1-Up? They're doing better things than they ever have. They're giving you everything you've ever asked for. The XLs, the better shape. It looks better. They gave you the good monitors. And now you say, I'm not interested in them anymore. What? What? This is when I'm more interested in 1-Ups than I've ever been before at this time. They're not, because the general public is not. And we all know that. And Sean pointed it out, and they all got super defensive, The same guy who defended Time Crisis at $750 is now saying a month later, the high prices. And it wasn't a high price when T2 came out for $700 for one game, was it? No, it was perfectly fine. It wasn't a high price when Simpsons was $600, but now the prices are too high. And this is where now these influencers admit I was right and Kev was right and all of you were right. All of you. They're admitting it. And their tail is between their legs, and they're very scared to say, I guess we were wrong, and So then you get this stuff. Then you get this guy. Then you get them all. Here's the funny thing about this whole thing is they all have to get together, right? And because strength in numbers. Okay, guys, let's all get together and talk about how our interests are changing. This is and always has been their way of trying to control something, okay? Where am I at here? Somebody gave me a $2 super chat. High scores on tap. I hate when I miss these guys. It's hard for me to do one show. Just want to show some support. Thank you, High Scores on tap. Thank you. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Paul Barris, Stern confirmed Jaws is talking. Let's talk about that for an hour. Hey, we could. And don't forget that Kerry Hardy gave the hint that Back to the Future is coming from, I forget what the name the company he called. I even forget what he named it, but he gave that one away. Thank you. I would assume that was the original. These alerts come through late, it looks like. But thank you all, Paul and High Score. Thank you for the super chats. Yeah, they're doing better now than they ever were, and they're less interested. It's so funny. Why? Because you're less interested, Steps. That's why they're less interested. All right, let's get to Franks and Sons, and we're going to get back to the top 8 reasons of why they did that stream, that their interests are changing. And that'll be a good part. All right. Franks and Sons, guys. Does anybody know Franks and Sons besides Akuma? I had to take my kids to Franks and Sons. Actually, my kid and my nephew. And Franks and Sons, let me just play it. Do I even have it on here? Here it is. It's basically, this is in California, and they basically, I guess, took a Costco or something, and they make it into a expo, and it's this huge expo, but mainly it's Pokemon and cards and stuff like that, but they have a little bit of video game. But my point is, everything I looked at, I couldn't believe the prices, the excessive prices. It was still too pricey. Okay. And you could see some of these, and you guys, Show Me Retro no better. $220 for a Sega Saturn. Here's a Genesis with, I don't know, one controller, and you're charging me $120 for a Sega Genesis? Oh, 2 controllers. Well, thank you. Here's some games, $15 for Jurassic Park. I don't know if these prices are good, but, $15 for some. But I want to get good prices for these things. Now, granted, they had a ton of crap, and if you're a card collector, it's the place to be. Here's a Sega Nomad for $350. How about some Dreamcast games? 160 for Sonic Adventure. I don't know. 120 for Marvel vs. Capcom. That might be good. I don't know. Crazy prices, Mike. I think they're a little high. Price gouging American style, right? Simon's Quest for 25. Here's a Fire and Ice for 300 if you want that. TMNT for 30? I really got to pay 30 for TMNT? Was that Adventure Island? Oh, a Super Mario Bros. What was that? 2? I need to pay $30? Yeah, okay. As long as you know, Realm. I'm not the guy. Just buy a CD burner for Dreamcast. And look at these controllers. What are you selling me controllers for? $70? Oops, I don't know. But there was one good thing that I really liked here. Yeah. There's one good, I don't know what this Mario controller, Mario Kart design. How much is that one? I can't even see what that N64 was for. There's a regular Nintendo. You're going to charge me 120, 130 that looked like for a regular Nintendo with one game? Okay, well, here was my highlight. This guy made these signs, these acrylic signs, and they were beautiful. And a little steep, Pat, thanks. Okay, I'm glad you agree. These signs were awesome. I mean, if you had a man cave, the problem is they were super pricey, like maybe, $200 or whatever. But look at that Dragon Ball Z sign. And some would light up. That Jurassic Park I want for my pinball, but it was, I think, 180. But it's this guy right here, Deanology03. Hit him up on Twitter if you really want to be interested in some of those signs. But that's the problem with some of these expos is it's just, come on, guys, you're going there. And I know, like, Show Me Retro doesn't, but he gives good prices, Those signs are sweet, high scores. They are sweet. And if you got the money, you should get them. Right, Bo? Emulation looking really good when you start seeing those prices. They do. Yep. They do. So that was Frank and Sons. I think they're only in California. I don't know. Akuma might know. I think they did have some magic too. And they did have rare toys. I mean, I could have filmed forever in there. They had some stuff I wanted. I'll give you that, But, always be closing. Well, with Pat, you give fair prices, Pat, so, but I didn't buy anything. I bought actually one thing. I bought a $10 Funko Pop for my Jurassic Park Funko. There's like 8 Jurassic Parks that I'm trying to get. I got like 6 of them. So I needed the Velociraptor, so I got that one. All right, who wants to see the top 8 reasons these guys did this stream? Who saw this stream, by the way? Did anybody sit through this nonsense? Did any of you guys sit through this nonsense? This collab stream to convince everybody or try to what this was, guys, is this was a feeler stream. This was, let's all get together, all 5 of us, and let's feel out the community and see if they agree with us that interests are changing. Well, am I right, Paul? Or Papa? Am I right or am I wrong? I know you watch everything, Papa, so. But, I mean, these guys tried hemming and hawing about real arcades and DIY, all the things Rex has been saying. They want to get, well, let's just get into the list. Why don't we just get into the list? Yeah, all right. You know, Papa Brad, now all of a sudden they don't like the arcades that they loved for 5 years and said were awesome. Even as they get better, they don't love them anymore. Oh, we'll get into that. Let me clear this out. All right. Top 8 answers on the board. They're trying to switch to be retro, Ralph. They're all trying to pivot, man. They're all trying to pivot. They're trying to pivot. Hey, but wait.
Obviously, I'm transitioning my content.
He's like, he says he's joking when he's like, you can't be sarcastic about something that's actually happening and think that you're going to convince your audience otherwise. You can't just say, obviously I'm changing my content. Ha ha ha! Right? No, I'm not. He says, no, not. Yes, you are, and everybody sees through it. Go look at his content. I guarantee. It used to be 9 out of 10 videos were arcade one up. I think he's done like videos on getting paid to do indie games and reviewing indie games. Anything that they pay him for or give him for free. That's what he does. Uh, what do you say we look at number one is view? Oh, I wish I didn't bring up. Let me put this. Let me get this up so everybody can see, because I gotta move this up. There we go. Number one is views. Will it be views? Will number one be? We're gonna stop at 8 and go down. I was gonna do it where you guys could guess and then we'd see. But my family says number one is views. You guys can put some answers. What do you think? The top 8 reasons that 3/4 arcade one-up influencers are changing their arcade interests. Why are they changing them? Naked Graham. Show me no freebies. Okay, I want to show this one. I didn't put no freebies up here. I had it on the list, and basically I had that they only want free stuff and they're not getting it. So there is something about this that is, but you are right. They can't get any free stuff anymore, and now they just want to get the free stuff from these other companies like indie developers and games and shill some games and whatever. And if you guys remember, let me go back. Sorry, I
obviously I'm transitioning my content.
When One Up was stale, like dry and everything, they immediately started peppering at games. And it was like, why? Well, because they can get the free stuff, the free pinball tables, the free games in hopes for a free 4K pinball. So, all right, let's get back. Who wants to see the top 8 answers on the board? Number 8. What do we have? Losing control of the narrative. Losing control of the narrative. This is interesting, guys, but for those who know how the Illuminati and these shills used to get together and they used to go over what are they gonna propose to the community? What are we gonna shill and what are we gonna force on the community? That was this was a reason why they're worried that they have no control over the narrative anymore. So they went, strength in numbers. Let's gain this control of the narrative back, and we'll try and push this narrative that Arcade 1-Up is not as cool anymore, and we're gonna do other stuff on our channels, and then hopefully they'll all follow with us. You have to remember, guys, whether it was Blitz, no big deal that there was no late hits and audio missing and players missing and that there was no online play at launch. That narrative that they tried to propose, the narrative of, the direction they're going is so awesome. I love what 1-Up's doing. They're doing great stuff. The deluxe is awesome. Whether, online, remember online was going to be the greatest thing and we're all going to play on it and none of them do. They just want to control the narrative of what you're supposed to like. And they have lost control because you guys now have control. You have control of the narrative because you call their BS out. You realize that this is all a game to them and it has nothing to do with what is actually interesting. Was a big deal, Kev. But they didn't listen. But now we're right, and they're admitting it. Remember the risers? They tried to narrate, risers are cool. No, we love them. They're all lined up, and they look so cool with risers. Then there were no risers. Then the narrative was, no, risers aren't cool. They're so stupid. This is what they have been trying to control. And you guys see this flip-flopping all the time, and you're like, well, what is it? What do you like? What is the narrative? Because we don't know anymore. XLs, no, cabs are too big and arcades are too big and too costly and monitors. Now it's, we want them bigger and better. They don't know what the narrative is anymore, so they've lost control of it. They've completely lost control of controlling the narrative, and that's why they tried to do this stream, to gain it back. And I do this stream because you guys are all thinking the same exact thing, okay? I'm the only one who says it. Oh, this is a good one too, Mike. That's part of it. That's part of this losing control of narrative. They lost their credibility and they don't know what to do. They've lost their credibility as gamers. Oh, the shills were going down as soon as they lost their prophet, John D. Will that one be on the board? Let's go. I mean, I could go on forever. Everybody knows how they tried to control the narrative and how it wasn't a big deal that online wasn't there. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will be fixed. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be awesome. And we love Marvel. They just tried to control it. over. Walter, they lost their John D. Let's go to number 7. Show me 7. They're scared, guys. They're scared you're going to stop watching. They are scared you're going to stop watching. So they teamed up. They said, what do? We all have to get on a team, right? Because we know that the one-up news is not interesting anymore. And what do we do to keep you guys watching your channel? We can't be original. We don't have any of that. We know that you guys will move on to other channels. So let's find out what your interests are, right? And then we'll tailor our channels to those. And strengthen numbers. So they all got 5. Because could you imagine one of them going on and being like, our interests, my interests have changed. And then the other 4 are like, well, my interests haven't changed. I actually like what OneUp is doing. You know, they couldn't do it that way. So they had to all get on one stream and do it together. That's how hilarious it is. Because one of them could never say, oh, my interests have changed. And I know they couldn't do what Ralph did. They couldn't do what Cool Toy did. They couldn't do it on their own. There was no way. Thank you, Hobby Hands, for 5 minutes. Your show and a few others still hold my attention, and I watch regularly. It was just too much repetition. Everything's repetition. There's no originality, Hobby Hands. Thank you for the super chat. There is 0 originality, 0 entertainment, 0 opinion, 0 knowledge. We've been through that already. We all know that. Last week they fell in love with Unico. Yeah. Yes. No, not Bidenomics. No, that's not it. Thank you, Stringer. Thank you. No. Number 1 answer is not that. You guys get the scared. Riser City, Rise. We saw the risers. I can't keep up with these comments, guys. We could do this forever. All right, let me go back. How about number 6? We're going to be here for a while. I hope you guys don't mind. I thought this was going to be a fast stream, but I don't know. Hopefully I didn't miss any super chats here. I'm going through. Thank you. All right. Woo! Everybody's laughing. Of course. Michael B's always pissed off at me. What do you want me to do? I mean, he's hold on. Yes, Mike, but don't worry, Mike B
obviously I'm transitioning my content.
He's transitioning his content, so he's okay. He doesn't have to worry about, the community changing their interests. He's okay. Okay. All right. We got to move on or we're never going to get through these. Number 6. Oh, the super chats are down. Super chats are down. This might not be true. I mean, they still get a ton of super chats, but I still think they're down on these one-up. Oh, no, we went too fast. All right, we'll just move on to special treatment. John D is gone. Special treatment.
Obviously, I'm transitioning my content.
Mike. All right. So super chats are down. Console fanboys out. The one-up. They do a one-up stream, and there's no like arguing anymore. There's no, there's. I can't do this stream. It's too funny. The super chat. The people are gone. Well, what do we got to cause more interest? We got to do doing streams that are going to get more super chats because the one-up content just isn't doing it anymore. All right. Number 5 was John D is gone. And what was it? Let me see I forgot what I actually put on there. Special treatment. Special treatment is gone from one-up. Now, Mike B still might have it because but they're not even doing these shows. But guys, in all seriousness now, they don't have the answers anymore first. They don't have that information anymore first. They don't have the Illuminati anymore. They don't have John D in their chat groups anymore, feeding them the information first, which made their channels relevant. Now you have channels like Big ED and all these other channels who are doing one-up, and they get the news just as fast, if not faster, and that scares the hell out of them. They're like, well, what do we do? Oh, I know. Let's go back to @games because that's where we're still in the influencer group because we don't have anything from Arcade 1-Up anymore. So what do? We do a stream and say, you know, interests are changing because we don't have that information anymore. Yeah, you can't use them against us anymore, Kev. You can't do it. They're like those 30-year-old dudes, yes, trying to be cool. Get in the club. Stringer's running low on $2 bills. Yeah, that might be the number one answer. $3 bills. $3 bills. No. All right. That's the other thing. Now they tried to transition to pinball. Then they're like, no, we can't get free pinball, so this ain't going to work. Let's get out of that. I want to see there was either Arcade One will have a bunch of it now. Well, don't get me wrong, Mike Hawkerts, because you know as soon as something interesting comes back with one-up, then their interest will be back to one-up because they'll say it's interesting again, you know? I'm not, but it's still not interesting. It never will be, you know? But anyway, let's get through the list. These are all reasons why they did this show. Let's get through the list. John D is gone. That hurts. No special preferential treatment. No free cabs anymore. Remember, they were all getting free cabs. One-Up Kits got multiple free cabs, you know, for doing his shilling and all that. So, you know, that is gone. All right. That one. Looking at some of these comments here. No, you know, I try not to do mid-roll ads. If it comes through, it's because I screwed something up. I would never do them on purpose. I actually try and stop them before YouTube tries to force them on me. You will see an ad before I start, but you won't see. You watch Mike B's stream, you miss half of it because there's a million mid-roll ads, you know. But, I mean, everybody knows he does it for the money. There's no love of the game, which reminds me that, you know, Megadan, if you guys watch Megadan, he did a nice little stream where he talked about how nobody does it for the love anymore, for the passion. They just do it for the views and the money. And that's everything is dictated by that. And it relates to this thing because that's what everything is dictated by them, you know. That's the whole purpose of why they do this and why they like one-up, because there was money behind it and there was, you know, obviously we know where we're going with this. Yeah, the money is on YouTube is a joke unless you can drive the narrative and get 10,000 views because you're getting, or 30,000 views because you're getting, you know, free stuff and info first, and you know that you can get the views. Because if you get a lot of views and you put 1 million ads in them like Mike B does, you actually get a lot of revenue. You can get a lot of revenue by putting tons of ads and stuff. But let me give you an example, and I'm glad you brought this up, Brad. Some of you watch, you saw Mad Little Pixel. He bought these $99 one-up crappy 2-player countercades, okay? And then he shilled them. He's like, oh, look I got $99. This is a great deal, you know, $99 for these one. Here's the thing. He goes out and buys $99, you know, arcade one-up things. He does a video, gets 50,000 views. It basically pays for itself, and then he sells it. And he gains YouTubers, he gains interest, he gains content, he gains all that stuff. Okay. So when he does that, he's not like the same as you and me who has to pay $99 and is lucky if they can sell it back for 40 when they're done realizing it's a piece of crap. That's the difference. You know, people are getting paid for doing it. You know, they are. I get paid for doing it so little you guys would laugh, you know. But again, I do passion stuff, you know, and I think that's what Megadan was saying. Carrie, you do passion stuff. You know, could you do stuff that just gets views and views and views? Will you do stuff that gets views, or will people do stuff? Yeah, because it aligns with their passion and what's popular. But these guys, it only aligns with what's popular. That's all we care about. There is no passion. It is true. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Where were we? You guys, but I got off on the Mad Little Pixel, but you realize exactly what I'm saying about Mad Little Pixel. He could care less about those 99, he makes his money back through his video, right? Then he sells it off on his, website, 6 months later for, 70% of what he paid. I mean, it's a joke, really, And then you guys are left saying, oh, 90, a good deal. And then you got 5 of these sitting on the side going, why did I even buy this thing? It's a piece of junk. All right. Number 4. Moving on. I hope you guys are still interested in the top 8 lists. Thank you, Papa Brad. Top 8 reasons why they did that stream and their interests are changing. Number 4. Yes, damage control is why they did that stream. And damage control, guys, for what they have done in the past 5 years and trying to get out of it. They want you to think. They want to slowly convince you guys and align with them, right? So you can all take your mind off of all the money you've wasted on one-ups, right? And go, let's go this other route, right? And if you forget about how they all FOMO'd you for 5 years into this crap, right? They FOMO'd you to death about these products and hyped them for hours upon hours upon hours, right? Then when you realize that, oh my God, I've been duped by these guys, that I don't even like these things, right? Or I don't need them. Maybe I wouldn't say you don't like them. You like maybe a little, but you don't need 20 of them, right? And they're trying to plant the seed in your head, okay, that come with us. We're all transitioning away. And then you won't realize what we did to you in the past 5 years. You'll forget about all that stuff we said about how these things are great, about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Blitz and NBA Jam and how we're all going to play and Street Fighter and we're all going to be online. You'll forget about that if we transition away and start talking about DIY kits and other popular stuff like handhelds and who God knows else. I'm surprised these guys aren't covering Raspberry Pi 5s when they come out, I mean, I got to go back and show you. It was this stream. And if you're joining late, we're talking about the stream where the Illuminati got together and talked about how their interests are changing and how they're trying to do damage control is number 4, that their interests in one-up and what they sold you guys on for 5 years straight, we're getting out of that. We're getting out of that now. That's what we're talking. And Goofy Foot, you couldn't last more than 5 minutes in this stream from what everybody said. That's how awful it was. Because they said nothing and did nothing and couldn't commit to anything because they wanted to throw a feeler out to see what your interests were. Nothing to do with their interests. Nothing to do with it. Yeah. And his old content was good. Now it's just, there's no effort. There's nothing, And let me ask you this, Megadan. How do you go from loving consoles and NES and all those stuff to abandoning it 100%? Just completely abandoning it and saying, yeah, it makes me think, did you ever love it to begin with? I really don't know, I really don't know if you ever did now, because you fooled me, I think. Because you just don't go from loving Nintendo and Sega and all these retro games for 40 years and then just stopping, And that's kind of what they're doing with the arcade. Oh, I don't like these arcades anymore. I love arcades for 40 years and I loved one-up for 5 years, but now I have no interest in them, Okay, there's reasons people's interests change. I get them. But the reasons that you guys said that all those 5 guys said their interests were changing were complete bullcrap. Complete bullcrap. And the 8 reasons why they did it are in this list of 8. You missed. Yeah, of course. Leaderboards are great. Yeah, I love that. That is great. But the real reasons are right here. This is the real reasons why their interests are changing. It has nothing to do with what they're saying about, the products are rehashes. They've been rehashes for 5 years. The prices are too high. The price has been high for 4 years. The controls and all this, nothing has changed, and they haven't got. That's been going on for 5 years. It took you 5 years to realize that. It's all crap. They're not releasing anything new. Yeah, they did. They did Fast and Furious. They did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They got 2024 coming out. You guys were such shills that you shilled Casino-cades you were excited about. You were interested in Casino-cades and claw machines. That's what you were interested in. Casino-cades and claw machines, but now your interests change. No, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will never be fixed. Blitz will never be fixed. Top 3, sorry. I'll get to it. I just want people to realize there's a group of people that all acknowledge what you guys have acknowledged about this crazy ass stream that they did with their interests are changing. What a bunch of garbage it was. Here's number 3. Show me number 3. One-ups are junk. Now, one-ups are only junk to the way you believe they're junk. I believe they're more junk than other people believe they're more junk. Sure, they can be good enough for people. I get it. But my point is, they've thought these things were great for 5 years, right? And now they're even getting better. They're doing a better job making them look like they're ones that are, and now they want to transition away from it. Why? Because they can't admit that they're junk. Because they can't admit that what Mike said before about credibility, their credibility is gone because they keep shilling this garbage. And as the mayors of the 3-4 scale arcade community, they're starting to look foolish by shilling it, and they're realizing it. As they learn and progress about gaming, about arcades, they're starting to learn that these things really are junk, and I'm scared to keep promoting them because you guys, the rest of the community, is starting to realize it. You're tired of getting fooled. You're tired of getting FOMO'd and getting the same crap. Thank you, Megadan. GG's on 120 in the chat. Good. Yeah, thank you. Good games. And good death run on that Death Adder. Seems a lot easier than arcade when I watched you, Megadan. I'm like, he's never getting any spots where I mean, you did have some good strategies, but I just was shocked. I'm like, there's no way I could get through an arcade Death Adder, without dying. So congrats. You guys got to watch that. But I don't play Sega so I don't know. All right. Yeah, well, they're all mayors, but the one we say P-Dubs is, he's the one who really thought they were crap, but he couldn't come out and say it for fear of losing, fear of losing his one-up base, obviously. But he still shilled them. He still bought them. He still kept FOMOing people by buying them. And he just bought the XL. They still do shows, hours upon hours, news, all this stuff, You don't do that if it doesn't interest you anymore. You don't do that if you really care about the community and you're like, I can't keep FOMOing these guys into buying these. Yeah, okay. At least I'm right on that one because I have played it a ton. Okay. Oh God, I hate when people give FOMO. I hate it. I can't believe it. It's so sad. So sad. All right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to bring Kevin to this because, here we come with, Regulars talking about, this is your guys' stream. You guys did this. Interests are changing, I don't know. My interest is growing on Arcade 1-Up. I get more interested as they make them more like real arcades. That's what's funny. That's the whole funny thing about it is they make them more look like real arcades, bigger, a little bit better. I'm more interested in them. They're less interested in them. Why? Because they don't care. They only care about what the public is interested in. All right, let's get to number 2. Number 2. I know you guys said this one. One-Up views are down. The popularity of One-Up is completely down. And I think we all knew that in the chat, right? They see the trend. Now, they'll still get more views by doing one-up content than they'll get by doing anything else. They still will. But the days of give me first, news and get me that 30,000 view video because I'm first and I got the arcade one-up first, those days are gone. Those days are gone because they can't get the arcades first. They can't get them. They can't get the news first anymore. They have lost control of all the special privileges, and the views are down, and that is what's dictating them to say their interest has changed, because it's all about the views, just like Megadan said in his video. It's all about the views and nothing about what's going on in the industry. Gravy train is over. That's it. It's over. You know, can they just do a news video and I mean, how many times can Mike B do what's coming in 2024 and what can they do better, and what people are getting so fed up with that stupid stream topics. I mean, it's literally, people are just fed up and like, this is just dumb. 2022, it was so 2021, 2020, you know, but you're right. You're right. All right. All right. You guys want to look at number one? You're not going to get number one. I'm going to have to explain number one. Yeah, and I don't mind people adapting, you know, but you know, don't give me a bullshit reason of why you're adapting. Liars, you fakes and phonies, of why you're adapting. You're not adapting because you lost interest. You're adapting for all the 8 reasons I showed. I've said this 100 times, my friend. You could go back and watch Ralph's stream from 5 years ago, and all it is a reiteration of what he's done a million times. You know, what can they do better? What controls are better? What topics or what titles do we want? You know, all that stuff. Comparing real arcades to, you know, 3/4 scale and DIYs, compare all of it. You got to check it out on Twitch. I stream all my gameplay on Twitch, and nobody follows me but a couple people. So all my gameplay is done on Twitch. Okay. Number one, we got to get this over with. We got to, because I'm even approaching an hour, and I hate going for an hour, but this stream was too fun. Number one, yeah, Scott the Waz did sum it up pretty good. Number one, as to name a reason 3/4 scale arcade influencers are changing their interests, their arcade interests. Show me. Number one. No identity. No identity. Now, do any of you even know what I'm talking about this? What does this mean, no identity? They have no gaming identity. Their identity is dictated by what the general public likes and what's popular in a YouTube algorithm. That is their no identity. That is what I'm talking about. There is nothing that they do that isn't dictated by somebody else in the community. You don't know what they like. You don't know what they dislike. And when you don't dislike anything, you like everything. I have no idea what these guys like or don't like. Right? You know that Papa Brad likes Atari. You know Retro Ralph likes building arcades and modding arcades. You know To Die For likes modding arcades, and that's his shtick. You know I like Donkey Kong and NHL 94. You know that Kev likes Golden Tee. You know what these people like. I mean, look here. Let me show you. Let me give you a prime example. Look at what's behind Mike B. NBA Jam, Killer Instinct, Pac-Man, and Golden Tee. He doesn't like any of those. He could care less about. He doesn't even know how to play Killer Instinct. Golden Tee is a joke. He's never even played it. NBA Jam, he played it once. Here, wait. I gotta go. These guys have no identity. When your identity is Alien vs. Predator, that's my identity. What? That's your identity? Megadan's identity is no death runs and console gaming and NES. That is their identity. Everybody has a gaming identity except these 5 guys on the stream. One Up Kits has no identity. I don't know what that guy plays. He tries to say he has a pinball identity now. There is no identity. Zero. Never seen the guy play an arcade game. Now he had no identity, so he tried to choose a pinball identity. Kerry Hardy, his identity is pinball. What are these guys' identity? It's whatever is popular in the YouTube algorithm and whatever they get paid to do. Survey is BF. Everybody knows number one is not waterproof. Yeah, they stopped liking one-ups because they weren't waterproofed. Oh, thank you. $2. Here, you want? This is. I wish I could show you guys this, but when I watch these guys play games, I was like, wait a second. You, Mike B, you said you liked. He said you liked a Street Fighter, and he plays like this. Let me see if you guys can see. Let me see. Watch. This is how he played Street Fighter. Is that? He'd do a Hadouken and take his hand off the joystick. I don't get it. He played pinball. He hit the flippers at the same time. Chase doesn't even do that anymore. He's 7 years old. What is your gamer identity? What is it? Thank you, Paul. $10. Nailed it. This is why this is the number one Arcade 1-Up channel. Arcade Talk will air after the Rexer show. Well done. Thank you, Paul. $10. But it's the truth. What? You guys all like something. You guys all have something that you really like. Look at Brooklyn Menace is really into VR and that type of stuff. And that's what he does. He's passionate about it. I don't know what these guys like. I really don't. I could, they like what you like. I don't want to be that gamer. I don't want to like just what you like. Mike B supposedly likes Robotron. You ever see him play it? He could barely get past level 2. I was like, this is your game that you loved for 40 years is Robotron? I don't say you have to be good at games, but have an identity for Christ's sake. And that's why that's the number one answer. They have no gamer identity, and they're trying to figure it out. So they did a stream to figure out what your interests were so they could mirror their interests to it, and you'll follow them along, and it'll act like they're their interests. All right, let's look at some of these comments. Thank you. Oh, sorry, that was Papa Brad. I thought that was Paul. Thank you, Papa Brad. Sorry if I got that wrong. Thank you, Papa Brad. Thank you. Are you saying Arcade Star Wars Talk, you guys are going to be on right after this? Because I'll let people know if that's what you mean. Thank you, Sean P. Small thanks for giving me. You guys, if it's so apparent that there is no platform for you guys to come and say, what the hell is going on with this, with some of these things that I don't agree with. And then you're going to get shunned if you even try and speak. Remember, like when you're watching if they ever do an Arcade 1-Up show again, and they promote it, maybe me and Kev will do a watch party of Arcade 1-Up. Would you guys like to see that? We'll play it while me and Kev sit there and critique the watch party. So you have a platform to actually go and laugh and say, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But yeah, maybe he would take his hand off the Hadouken. What are you doing? What? It's like, I've been fooled by you. You don't like arcades? You guys never liked it. You only like what's popular. Where am I at here? Thank you, Sean P. again. We got Paul Barris. $5. Thank you very much. Bat tops versus ball tops. Let's talk about that for an hour. There's so many things that are so uninteresting that have been regurgitated a million times. I mean, Paul, I don't even know what to tell you. I got to get caught up in chat here. Yeah, watch party would be cool. We're thinking about doing that. Like bring you all guys, like have us have more people watching their crazy dumbass 1-Up stream than their whole people. Yeah, you'd be in. That everybody would be in on that. So let's see. Drake I got a tag for asking how they order 1-Ups, then cancel order, then the cab arrives for free. Yeah, remember that used to happen? Like, oh, 2 of them showed up at my doorstep, Like, oh, so I got, really? Just, yeah, they just shipped 2. 2 of them showed up at your doorstep, sure, Watch party. If they do it, if we can plan it, I'll skip work just to do one for fun, I don't even have to skip work. I'll just tell them I'm going to do a 1-up watch party. They'd be like, go for it. Oh, Carrie, I showed it one time years ago, like 2 years ago. And I was like, what the F is this? I'm like, people in the chat back me up. You guys remember I showed it. I was like, who plays Street Fighter like that? I'm like, what is that? I've never seen it before. Carrie, he used to hit the flippers at the same time when he first played pinball. He'd hit the flippers at the same time every time. Every time. These are your arcade experts that we're dealing with, Yeah. And half their audience is good. That I don't know. All the hack, yeah. But, guys, I'm not saying you have to be great at games or good at them, but have an identity. Don't make up an identity as it goes because you think something's popular, whether it's, Blitz is popular now, so I love Blitz, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 I told you guys, I don't play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's fun. It's great, right? But I didn't grow up on it. It's not my identity. Will I play it? Hell yes, but that's not my identity. All right, Paul. Now remember, Paul, Kevin and I, this is the funny thing. Kevin and I never said it was coming out at Cleveland Gaming. We just said it's coming, and we still believe it's coming in 2024, that something is coming. We still believe it. We're hanging our hat on that. We never said it was coming in 2023 like other people did at Cleveland Gaming. Didn't say that. Remember. Look at Akuma Ref. I watch it. He plays games like Fortnite and shooters, and he's online playing all those all the time. That's his identity. He's a fighting broadcaster. He likes fighting games. That's his identity, right? That's his gaming identity. Jeez. Have a gaming identity, No, my kid doesn't anymore. When he first played, he did. Now he's 8 years old. He's stepped up. He hits the flippers one at a time. He's 8 years old. Oh, Shiloh said that 2024 is a big year, literally. Yeah. Listen, can I be wrong finally for once? Guys, these guys have been looking for me to be wrong about something for the longest time. They've been begging and like, oh, we got to make fun of him if he's wrong, And granted, I'll be wrong once, but whatever. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom was terrible. What is Paul asking? Oh, no, I know you're not calling me out. Yeah, for sure though. I hope I'm hoping I'm still positive. Yes, that's correct, Paul. I'm only right. There is a slight chance I will be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, remember this? He's a casual gamer, a guy who has every single arcade, 40 arcades, pinballs, all the consoles, casual gamer. So you can't, and he has a YouTube channel, a very popular gaming YouTube channel that where people think he's the expert, but he's only a casual gamer. So, all right. Guys, last comments. I don't have anything to say. I got some stuff coming out that I got tons of lists of stuff. I hope you guys watch my golf thing. That was a passion project. I know people aren't going to watch that golf thing, but that was a passion project. I get it. People aren't going to, I don't do stuff just because people are watching it, or paid. You're going to come back and say, well, I didn't get a lot of views on this. Yes, because you got paid to do it. They gave you the game for free. That's why you did it. You do nothing out of passion. Nothing. I love it when these guys, some random game comes up and they're like, oh, I'm going to stream this game that's new because it's awesome. So I think Mike B said Berserk was awesome. It got like a horrible rating on all these games that I think Todd Russell showed. He said, yeah, it's not really awesome, but you got it for free, so you got to put it's awesome out there. All right. Stream is over, my friends. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me I'm wrong. Don't really care. Right? Leave some hate mail if you got to. I really don't care. And thanks, guys. Everybody in the chat watching. I appreciate it. All right. Let's stop this broadcast. See you.